Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got this wonderful feeling. Everything's going my way. Well, hey, I told you I was going to put grease on the door hinges. This is the stuff I'm going to use. White lithium grease. And, you know, I got this at the Home Depot. Multi-purpose. It's for all kinds of stuff. And I just wanted to talk to you briefly. I'm not going to do it right this minute, but let's get the lights on here. And as you know, I'm getting this condo ready to be sold. But even if I wasn't going to sell it and we just got some renters out of here, if we were to move back in here, I would have done this anyways. And these hinges here, none of them really squeak. The only one that squeaks is that one there. But if they were squeaking, I'd use that grease. But even though they're not squeaking, I'm still going to use the grease. Now these hinges are 4 years old, and why am I going to do that? Well, I already showed you that these hinges had spit black stuff and on the edges here, okay? And I've already wiped all that stuff off, but I'm getting ready. Before that, I'm gonna clean these doors because I'm just doing a mad dog cleaning here. I've been cleaning. I cleaned all of this baseboard, all of these edges with a toothbrush, and then my scouring pads, you know, on the back side, and wiping all those baseboards down and cleaning all that. Doesn't that look nice? All that's been all clean now. And I'm going to do that on the doors too. But I haven't done the doors yet, and here's why. I wanted to show you that these things spit. Okay? If you have white doors, okay, now follow this here. I'm talking about this for a reason, and I want you to learn something here. If you have white doors, and I don't care what color hinges you have, I'll bet you dimes to donuts that you got black marks here, you got some black here, you've got on this edge, it's all black. You'll have some right here, right there, on all of your hinges and on your doors. And you just go look at them and you'll see. Now, what I'm, like I said, these have only been spitting and they were brand new 4 years ago, okay? And the reason why, when they spit, when you have doors that are inset with this, what happens is this spits just by opening and closing the door a little bit. Right in there. See, my finger is getting not very much, but you see where this one is? You go right down over here. And you're gonna get black on there. On any white door like this. See that stuff right there? See there? That's from this spitting on all of these. These aren't that bad because they're only 4 years old. But if your doors are 10, 15 years old and you haven't painted them for a while, you're gonna get that. You see there? And that's because that hinge spits over there. That hinge there is gonna spit down on that right there. And so I've got to do a nice cleaning job. This one up here will kind of spray this way. So I've got to clean all those, and I'm gonna do that first. I'm gonna clean all of these doors down all through the condo. The ones upstairs too, I'm gonna do all those before I get into the lithium grease. And then once I get into the lithium grease, I'll show you real quick how to do that. I've got some videos on my channel already at another house that I put lithium grease on. And here's the other thing. I put lithium grease on another house about 7 years ago. And the hinges look just like this, but those hinges were probably 8, 9 years old, but they looked like these, and the doors were all painted before they painted. I went around and cleaned all the stuff same way that I'm telling you, and then I went around and greased all of those before the painters came, and all of that. You have to clean all that stuff, or else your paint's not going to stick. You see what I mean? And 7 years. Do you know that none of the hinges at the other house, none of them have spit yet? No black marks anywhere, no spitting on the edges, no black marks on the inside or anything like that, because I use that lithium grease. Okay? This stuff works really good. Years ago, I used to just spray hinges with WD-40, but they tell you not to do that. And I could take a WD-40 silicone spray and use that if I have one squeaky hinge or something like that. But it's a really good thing to go ahead and put the grease on, okay? And I'm not going to have to take any doors down, okay? I'll show you that in a minute, all right? And it's very simple to do. Any average Joe can do it. And then you'll prevent any more of those black marks. Now granted, if your door has black marks, you can get most of it off with Simple Green, and that's what I've been using, my favorite cleaner, Simple Green, oh yeah. And that'll get off the majority of it, but depending how many years you've had that stuff on there, you're only gonna get so much off. You're only gonna get so much off up in there, and on this inside, this might be all black, you know? From here to about there. And when you put the Simple Green on, if you got white carpets or if you got light gray carpets or something like that, be very careful, because after you spray, all that's going to run down. You're going to get black marks down on your carpet. Now down here, I don't worry. Once it ran down there, I just wiped it up off the floor. But in where the carpet was, the doors up there, I had to be real careful with that and make sure I was mindful of that and not put too much spray on and then wipe it off real quick and all that before it ran down onto the carpet. But as it was, see, this carpet's really dark. Had some gotten on there, I'd be fine. You see what I mean? So just be careful with that. And man, it doesn't take a whole lot to have your place look nice and clean. You know, it almost looks like this baseboard has been painted and these door frames have just been painted and the doors and all that. But nope, 4 years ago. And see, the renters, after they left, cracked me up too. I'm not real happy about it. He thought he was going to do me a favor and start patching where nail holes were. Well, there's one pinhole nail, but of course he put stuff on there with a putty knife and did all this business. Had he not done anything, there would just be a little pinhole, and I would have filled that very carefully with a little bit of caulking and not done all of this, because what's going to happen is when I paint, and hopefully it doesn't, I'm going to have to put 2 coats over this. If you just put 1 coat, when you stand off to the side, you'll see exactly where. Oh yeah, VideoJoe, he said he did some paint touch up. I can see it where it's right there, over here, right over here, because you got to put 2 coats on. And if this was smooth wall, even if I put 2 coats of paint on there, it would flash, because you only have it right there. But because I've got a spray texture on here, I'm hoping it's not going to flash too much. This is an eggshell finish. It's kind of shiny, as you can see. There's a little bit of sheen to the walls, and that's what I like to do when I paint walls. I like to use the eggshell, not flat paint. Okay, that way they're washable and they stay cleaner, and it's easier to wipe them down without putting marks on the flat paint and all that kind of stuff, and you can kind of rub on it a little bit and all that. Okay, so I'm kind of getting off base here, but you know, keep your place nice and clean. Like I said, we're getting ready to sell this condo, and so I'm wiping everything down, wiping off the sill, even though it's drywall there, wiping around the windows, cleaning the windows, clean this rail here, cleaned all the baseboard, now I'm gonna wipe down the doors, and I've already checked all the baseboards down here, and I'm gonna end up cleaning the floors too, around this whole window system. Of course, I've got to get up there with the high ladder and do all that kind of stuff. But see where the rail is? This thing was black before, okay? I took a toothbrush down there, my simple green, my sponge. It looks 100% better. Where this black is now, that's the metal rail, and it's wiped off the paint off of there from years ago. But that sucker's clean now. And see, I ended up doing that over there. See how nice and clean that is? And you just have to do that. See how nice and clean that is now? Look at that. Oh, okay. See, that was black. And you just take some time and be proud of the place where you live. You know, keep things clean, keep things put away, and wipe stuff down, because if you don't, what's gonna happen is you don't do that and you don't do something else, and pretty soon it becomes a pigsty, and you don't want that when you're getting ready to sell your house, your condo, whatever. It's all about eye appeal, baby. I even went out where the garage was. I cleaned the whole metal off of the garage door and did that. And even where the electrical panel is, this thing was all dirty in here. I wiped all that down. Even though it's a condo, it's at an HOA, I shouldn't have to do that, right? I shouldn't have to, but you know, if you're gonna sell, you gotta wipe everything out so that you get a nice look. I wiped down this whole garage door, cleaned off the windows inside and out, razor blade them, cleaned all that, got all the cobwebs off the lines up here and all that. And you wanna, you know, if they see that the outside's nice, and they open the door and they look down here after it gets staged and everything, and they see everything nicely painted, nicely cleaned, and everything wiped down, no cobwebs. See, I see there's some cobwebs up there. I still got to wipe those down, and everything is all nice and clean. I'll have all this stuff out of here. This is stuff that I still am doing stuff here in the condo, but this is all taken care of, and everything is nice and clean. Trust me, you'll be able to sell your place right off, okay? And that's what I'm gonna do. When I get all done, it's gonna look like this place the floor was just installed, the toilets were just installed, was just nicely painted. All the doors, all the handles look like they were brand new, even though they're 4 years old. You know, everything here is 4 years old now. 3 years for the countertops and stuff, but it's gonna show really nice, okay? And that's why I'm just taking my time, and I'm doing one thing at a time. Boom, 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 boom. And I'll show you more on the condo rehab and stuff and getting ready to sell it. But hey, I was just wanting to talk to you about the hinges, and it's gonna take your squeaks away, and it's also gonna take all that black stuff from spitting anymore. Okay, could I just leave it after I clean the door frames and stuff? Yeah, I could and let the next person worry about it. But I'm going the extra mile because I can, and because I've got my white lithium grease. Well, that's all I got for this time. But I'll be back with more videos, and I'm glad you're watching. If you like my channel, subscribe. The only reason why I make these videos is to try to help you save money around the house.